Let's just jump right in. I want you to read this. He saved $200 buying Trimix online and ended up with a $4,800 ER bill. This isn't some made-up scare tactic. This is a real story about a guy named David. He thought he was being smart, saving a little cash on something he needed. But that one decision, well, it went horribly wrong.
Yeah, $4,800. That's what his so-called bargain actually cost him. And that's just the bill for an emergency room procedure that is frankly nightmarish. We're talking about something truly awful. And that number, it doesn't even begin to touch on the psychological trauma.
David's story is unfortunately a perfect, brutal lesson in the mail order trap. In this explainer, we're going to talk about why ordering Trimix online is truly a gamble with your manhood. We're going to pull back the curtain on this whole industry, get into why it seems so appealing, expose the huge risks these companies don't want you to know about, and then, most importantly, show you what real, safe medical treatment actually looks like.
So let's really break down David's story, this $4,800 bargain. It started with a super quick 5-minute video call with who knows who. A generic kit shows up in the mail. He follows the instructions, right? And at first, it works. Maybe a little too well. The erection was so rigid, it was actually painful. And then 4 hours go by, and it's not going away. He's panicking. He ends up driving himself to the ER, and that so-called bargain ends with a doctor having to drain his penis with a large-bore needle. Just imagine that.
Now, before we go any further, I want to be really clear about something. I get it. I totally get the allure of these online clinics. It's completely understandable why you might be looking at this stuff and thinking, hey, this seems like a smart choice. It promises a quick, private fix with zero hassle. You're not wrong for wanting an easier solution.
I mean, let's be honest, right? Who wants to sit in a waiting room? You want absolute privacy, and you probably want results like yesterday. You're tired of things that don't work, and, of course, the big one, cost. You're paying out of pocket, so a lower upfront price seems like a total no-brainer. These online places, they promise all three. It sounds like the perfect solution, but, and this is a huge but, this convenience is hiding a really, really dangerous reality.
And here's where we get to the absolute heart of the problem. This is the one-size-fits-none danger. You have to understand, these online operations, they aren't healthcare companies. They are sales companies. They are moving a product. Their entire business model is built on volume, selling as many kits as they can, not on your personal health and safety. They are, and I mean this literally, asking you to gamble with your manhood.
Okay, look at this number, 300 to 500%. What is that? That's the range of variance. It's how much the response to the exact same dose of Trimix can vary from one man to the next. Let that sink in. A 3 to 500% difference. This means a standard dose is a biological fantasy. It's impossible. The dose that gives one guy a perfect result could literally send you to the emergency room.
So what is Trimix? It's a really powerful combination of 3 different drugs. And how you respond to it depends entirely on your unique body. Your vascular health, any other meds you're on, things like diabetes or high blood pressure, if you've had past surgeries, all of it dramatically changes the equation. Do you really think a simple online questionnaire can possibly figure all that out? No way.
And that leads us right to this quote, which just hits the nail on the head. Using a standard mail-order formula on your most sensitive organ is not healthcare, it's gambling. That's exactly what it is. A high-stakes bet where you're just crossing your fingers and hoping it all works out.
So let's walk through what that 2 a.m. emergency feels like when the gamble goes wrong. At hour 2, you might be thinking, wow, this is working great. But then you hit hour 4. The wile's gone. Now it's just panic. You're frantically calling that 800 number from the website. What do you get? Voicemail, of course. By hour 5, it's not just panic, it's excruciating pain. So you're driving yourself to the ER. And by hour 6, you're getting drained with a needle, alone.
And look, the ER is the immediate nightmare. But there's a long-term risk that's just as terrifying. It's called penile fibrosis. Every time you use the wrong dose, you risk creating permanent scar tissue. This leads to things like curvature, that's Peyronie's disease, actual loss of length, and the ultimate irony is that it can make your ED even worse than when you started. And I have to be crystal clear about this. This damage is not reversible. You can't fix it. Okay, so that's the gamble. That's the horror story. What's the alternative? What does the safe, smart path actually look like? Well, it's a protocol supervised by an actual physician. It's the LifeWellMD difference. This is what happens when a real doctor, not a website, takes personal responsibility for your outcome. Let's see what that actually means.
With Dr. Kumar, it's a completely different world. It's a careful, methodical process. First, you get a real vascular assessment and education. You actually understand what's going on with your body. Then, in the office, under his direct supervision, you get a tiny microdose. He watches in real time to see how your body reacts and makes tiny adjustments, that's called titration, until he finds your exact dose. You walk out of that office knowing precisely what works for you. No guessing, no gambling, no ER visits.
And let's talk about the support system, because really, this slide says it all. The online patient, your support is an 800 number, a voicemail box, and eventually an ER bill. The LifeWellMD patient, you walk out with an antidote kit just in case. You have Dr. Kumar's personal cell phone number, and you have peace of mind. It's the difference between a transaction and a relationship. It's night and day.
So this all comes back to cost, right? That's what started this whole thing. But we have to look at the price tag differently. We have to rethink it. The question isn't how much is a vial of Trimix. The real question you have to ask yourself is, what is my sexual health, my safety, my peace of mind, what is all of that worth?
Let's just look at the math. It's pretty simple. That cheap $89 vial from the internet, you add just one ER visit like David's, and suddenly you're at almost $5,000. And that's if nothing goes permanently wrong. Now look at the LifeWellMD protocol. The whole thing, the doctor's time, the assessment, the in-office test dose, your custom vial is $700. So which one is actually cheaper? The safe way isn't just better medicine, it's just plain smarter financially.
So who do you trust with something this important? I mean, really, you want a board-certified physician, someone with Harvard Medical School training, someone with over 30 years of experience, someone who is an expert in tissue biology and helping men recover after major procedures like prostate surgery. This isn't a job for some random person in a call center reading from a script. You need a true specialist like Dr. Kumar who takes personal responsibility for you.
And let's bring this back to your life right now, because every week you wait or every week you spend gambling on some sketchy online treatment, well, that's another week of strain in your relationship. It's another week of performance anxiety, of your confidence just getting chipped away. Why risk any more of that? The cost is so much more than just dollars and cents.
Look, it all comes down to this. Your sexual function, your confidence, your safety. It deserves a doctor, a real doctor, not a sales rep just trying to move product. You need to stop gambling. You just have to get this right the first time.
So if you're in Palm Beach County or anywhere on the Treasure Coast, and you've even thought about ordering Trimix online, just stop. Pick up the phone right now, call Dr. Kumar at 561-210-9999. Schedule that supervised test dose at his office in North Palm Beach or Port St. Lucie. Get your exact, personalized dose, get your antidote kit, and get direct access to a doctor. This is your health we're talking about. It's time to stop gambling and get real professional care. That number again is 561-210-9999, or you can visit LifeWellMD.com.